Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the preacher. Okay. Woo child. Uh, y'all, my Lord. Speaking of the Lord, thank you, Lord, for my life, health, and strength. Thank you for another day. Mm, it feels so good just to wake up and have family, period. I'll just stop right there. Whew. One of my greatest fears during my last marriage and why it was so hard for me to adopt at the exact time that he wanted to. It was really, really hard because I wasn't independent, meaning that I didn't have my own money. I didn't have my own way and ability to care for myself nor my kids. I was working on it. In fact, I had just basically completed a master's degree, my first one, my first master's degree of possibly three, I think I got. And so, I was pursuing, a career and I had to test the waters in different places, to see what would feel right, while I was entering a new marriage. And, you know, I had a little bit of child support, 50% less than what was recommended. I took 50% less than what was recommended, okay, by the court. So, anyway, but I'm one of those people, I'm a minimalist. I can make anything work somehow, some way. I survived off the $500 a month while my husband was in, the first husband, when he was in Desert Storm. When he was in Desert Storm, they sent me $500 a month. My rent was 380 something, and the rest of it was gas. Well, like gas in the car, and I lived in an apartment, so and I had to make it work. Ate off of that. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to survive off of $500 a month if that's all I got, or if I got 10,000 a month to work with, whatever. I'm gonna make that shit work, whatever I got. But the point is, when he started to trap me with a baby, whether it's through adoption or whatever, he didn't care how the baby came. As long as the baby was in the house to keep me trapped, keep me from growing and developing. It didn't matter that I just got out of college, and none of that mattered. His plan superseded mine. And one of my concerns was, and I wasn't, my girls were little. My girls were little. I wasn't nowhere near grandma stage. But I did bring up, well, if I take on more kids before I'm ready, that's like neglecting my kids. You know, it's like I'm not gonna even be the grandmother I want to be. You know what I mean? I had enough understanding in life. I knew the role I played in my own bloodline, my own natural family. You know what I'm saying? I understood family dynamics strong. And I'm like, this gonna affect, I understand long-term consequences. I just understood. And so, I gave all four kids their best life. Whatever each four children that we raised, two were biologically mine from the first marriage. And then we adopted two boys together in the second marriage. So I gave those kids, each of those kids, their best, individual best. Period. Period. Even with the flaws, it was still top of the line care. Period. Hands down. And their friends. I paid my kids friends' way in life to make sure they had them. People say you can't buy your friends. Why the hell you can't? Why the hell you can't? Anyway, so the point is, here I am, struggling, being able to have the energy and commitment to make sure mine are secure. I mean, I'm doing it, y'all. I'm doing it, but I'm doing it as a minimalist. I get the bare bone minimum while I'm trying to rebuild myself after a divorce that was of the most horrible kind. And both my children, daughters, they're grown adults, but both of them have addiction issues. I'm helping them with their addictions. I don't have an addiction issue. I don't. Like when it comes to like substances. Yes, I do smoke weed. Very low grade, the kind that you buy at the gas station type of weed. But I don't like cigarettes, so I don't like the taste of it or, the odor, so I can tolerate cheap weed. It don't even get me high. It's just really like a prop, you know. I'm a performer. I grew up where people smoked cigarettes and stuff on TV. The women was considered sexy to have on gloves with fancy cigarettes or cigars with tips on the ends. Okay. After you make love, a woman get a smoke. So again, smoking is different, has a different effect on my mind than maybe some other people. And that's cool. But I don't have addiction issues, but I do have two children that do. And I have great eight grandchildren. Seven are boys and one girl. So I have to rebuild myself after that marriage ran through me like a hurricane, blew us out the water, you know. So I'm regathering my family, my two daughters, my eight grandkids. I'm trying to keep us all together and sane after I have served the community as a substitute teacher. I didn't get a pension for substitute teaching for basically 15 years, really. I didn't get no pension for that, you know. And I was a Girl Scout leader. I was a school board member. I was involved in a neighborhood association to the point where I made it to president at one point. My list is long on how I've served my community in ways that was mostly volunteer and I didn't get no money. And here I am struggling because of a divorce from a cruel person. I'm struggling now. I'm the person that need all these services. You know what I mean? I have served the community my entire life, helping family and friends and strangers and people. Let people come off the street and just steal my husband, all kind of crazy stuff, whatever. In the service industry, serving the community. It damages your family, your real family. And here we are struggling. And I'm like, wow, where's our help? All the people I helped, they just got the help and went. And which is cool. I mean, I can't regret that. That's what I put myself out there to do. So I believe that all those good seeds that I sown out there, I believe I'm gonna reap it in my family. You know. Too bad at least the husbands ain't here. I mean, at least the very people that, helped me get here with kids and grandkids seem like they would be more on deck, but you know, whatever. So I believe that I'm gonna reap the same love, the same care, the same commitment, the same drive and passion, all that I put into community life my whole life, you know, I believe it's gonna come back and spring all up in my bloodline. It's just me, my two daughters, and my eight grandkids. And we gonna be all right. I may not be the woman that I used to be, I used to be closer to the Claire Huxtable type. But for some reason, after my suicide attempt in 2011, I came out more like a Roseanne Barr or something. It's just really crazy, y'all. I may make another video about that. You know, the woman I was before December 7th, 2011, and the woman I became after my first suicide attempt. They're two different people. And I can kind of understand why I lost all my family and friends because they don't know who I am. I have the same physical body on the outside, but everything else that come out of this body is not the person that they once knew. And I didn't realize that until yesterday. I had a phone conversation with someone. Just talking to this person on the phone birthed a lot of stuff for me. It's so weird. So I'll make another video, which probably will lead to a book. The woman I was before December 7th, 2011, compared to the woman after. Two different women. Okay, guys, I just want you guys to know that one of my greatest fears from being kind of forced to adopt kids before I was ready, you know, um, was that I was not going to have energy left when needed for my own, the people that I actually gave birth to. I just couldn't see how that would be fair to drain me of so much motherhood where with, kids that are not mine, you know, I was already a school teacher, I mean, like classrooms of kids. And I kind of specialized with the special ed department. They really loved me in that department, you know. But I was right. It was going to be a struggle. Not that I spoke it into existence. It's just that we just do the math. Do the math. But I also believe that Most High is restoring me. I believe that I can still be a good grandmother based on being this, rather hood, ratchet, raunchy kind of person. I was not like this before. I was like a dove before, and now I'm on the other side, sounding like a dove that cry. I was a dove, but now I'm a dove that cry. Thank you, Prince. Now I understand. And it wasn't until yesterday I even bothered to really examine what does it even mean for a dove to cry. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, why would a dove cry? What would what conditions and circumstances would create such an environment, opportunity for a dove to cry? I got too deep on that, y'all, because that's just how I am. But I'm like, wow, okay. But a dove is a dove, though. A dove is a dove. I used to fly so high, and I used to bring so many branch leaves back, and then I end up just sitting there crying, and it's like no one's really, really concerned, you know, that I can hear or see, that I'm allowed to anyway. Maybe I'm just somewhere where I don't need to know. I've always felt that way. The less I know, you know, then I don't have to worry about forgiving nobody or nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to know. 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 I don't want to care. But Most High makes me care. It's so easy to flow through this life not caring. It's so easy. But there's times when He just, break me on down and make me care. Make me face my fears. Stop acting like, you know, I don't know who he is, For real, for real. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what we acting like, y'all. Acting like we don't know who Most High is. Shame on us. Shame on us. Well, I've walked my last walk of shame. I'm walking my last, as this year is rolling out. It's only a few days left in this year, but I'm walking out here a free woman, okay, with liberty and the strength to make sure me and mine gonna be not just wealthy, but we gonna be rich, rich, and we ain't gonna give a fuck, okay? We've been scrimping and scraping and minimalizing and suffering for. I'm 55, and it's time for me to do my thing and live the life I want to live with whoever I want to do it with. And I've earned it, and my children and grandchildren, they're gonna benefit with me. They're the ones left. They're mine. And we gonna be all right. And we weren't perfect out there to the people in the world. We weren't perfect. Please forgive us. Please forgive us. That's all we can do is ask for forgiveness. But Lord knows that we ain't went without suffering. So if we did wrong by anybody, we got our asses tagged back tenfold. Just know. Look at me. It's obvious. But we on a comeback, on a rise, bearing our last blame and shame and all of that stuff. We're gonna let it stay behind us as we push forward. We're not ignoring it, acting like, our past don't exist. No, 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 no. We're no longer letting it hold us back. We're not gonna be afraid anymore. At least I'm not. Okay? Because I know I'm beautiful and I know I'm good and I know I'm strong. And what I did for everybody to help them in the past, I'm going to do it for me and mine now. And I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize for loving me and loving mine and focusing on us. Because Lord knows I have paid my dues to this world, paid my dues. And I got a new attitude, okay? Because I did a study on beatitudes in the Bible. We posted beatitudes. Think about it. It says it, beatitudes. Huh? And what kind of attitudes? The fruits of the Spirit, loving, patient, you know, peaceable, not to be long suffering with a person. You do some research on what that word means. It's deep. Long suffering, that's like long term. So yeah, I'm ready, y'all. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do for my kids and grandkids. I was so scared. I was so scared. And, I just, look at my track record. I mean, like, you know, but look at all the foster kids that I helped. I helped dozens and dozens of foster kids and actually adopted too. What am I scared of? Just because we're the fucked up ones now? We're the fucked up ones in the obvious way. My skills are still there. I know how to recover families, save them, recover them. It don't matter what happened. It don't matter. We gonna make it. Okay? I don't care what happened to the family. I have endured incest. So, okay. All right. I've endured being cheated on in a good way and in a bad way. Okay. Now, there's nothing I can't handle when it comes to family life. Nothing. Even now I'm in that zone where I may have to help raise grandkids, and that's cool. I feared it because I thought my marriage had, you know, overrode me, or just burnt me out or killed me or something. But I'm like, I'm still breathing. I still know what I know. I still, have my skill set and I can spring into action at any time. When I saved that lady's life in the hot tub, it took like 45 minutes at least. I was right there and I had that lady's head in my hand, keeping her head above water. She was a heavy set lady, but she could not bear her own physical body weight in that water. So if I can do that for that lady, I sure as hell can be whatever I need to be for my kids and grandkids and not be scared about it. I can be gentle as a dove, but I am wise as a serpent. Don't get that shit twisted. I think that's what throw people off. When you can be gentle enough to save the most vulnerable life, but yet let somebody try to, you know, I'm just saying, in the spirit realm, there's something else going on with me. I try to explain as best I can on this channel. You know, it's for you to discern, not me. My job is to share my experience with you in a way that it can be received. I try my best. But at the end of the day, use your discernment on how to interpret what I'm talking about, how it applies to your life if it can, or someone you know. You know, that's what all this stuff is all about. Get what you can, leave the rest. And it's always here if you need to come back and listen again and maybe, take something out the trash. That's fine. Throw something in, it's always an exchange here. All right, guys. So I just want to say that, this is a fear that I've overcome. That marriage did not rob me from being the mother and grandmother that I need to be for these people. Maybe it killed the idea of being the mother and grandmother that I fantasized to be about. Bad bitch. Okay. But this is who I am today. And this is the kind of grandmother maybe these kids need. And so God adjusted me, adjusted my attitude, my mindset, adjusted me to make sure that mine actually get to where they need to go. I was being everything everybody else needed up until I became a mom that I had to become what my kids needed. Okay. And that's what December 7th, 2011 was really about on a greater scale than my, trouble marriage. My trouble marriage is on the smaller end of the scale of what was really happening that day. On a larger scale, I was dying off to who my bloodline family needed me to be all quiet about molestation and stuff, to, having to be quiet and endure being cheated on by husbands for 32 years. So that date meant, okay, you need to be what you need to be to get through that. But now you need to be who you need to be to raise these kids, okay? These people right here, these 10 folks, 10, not all these other people, not these adopted people, foster kids, neighbors' kids. You know, you know, I don't have to do a whole Girl Scout troop no more. I don't have to be a substitute teacher no more to a whole class. Just focus on me and mine. Finally, I've earned it, and I'm glad about it. And I'm not going to apologize. Period. And I don't need to feel guilty about who I am today, you know, because I love me. I love me, and I still love hard and play just as hard. I may be a black Mother Teresa in the hood, but this girl will be at the New Beast partying like, hey, I love partying on the beach naked. That's just my thing. Okay? It is what it is. All right, guys, let me get off of here because I am buck wild crazy. Okay. All right. Love you all. Be great out there. Be your best self, whatever the hell it is. Be it. Be it. Own it. Okay. Be it. That's what I'm doing. I'm going for it. Bye. Oh, and don't forget, Wednesday is cuss me out. It's Christmas. Y'all can cuss me out on Christmas. Just come with that money. Okay? Come with that money and cuss me out as much as you want. Love you all. Remember, it's all about confession, venting, learning how to manage negative energy. Y'all be blessed. Bye bye.